Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Wednesday, April 8th. And man, do we have a roller coaster kind of a trading day. So we were up here, nice little run up here in the overnight. We were way up here. We started from the long side, looking to buy weakness all the way down here to that 67.85. So far, we've been pretty much right on it. They haven't really extended to the upside. We haven't taken out the lows and headed lower either. So we are kind of in a holding pattern right now. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of head fakes coming out. I can't tell what's real or not. I mean, you can see when the market reacts like that, there's something happened on that one, but and then they took it lower from there. But it hasn't taken out that support area at 67.85. We're heading lower from there. Nasdaq did take out the lows. They were down here testing the D period low again. That's kind of gnarly, but man, there's some rotations going on. So far, though, I would say that we are range bound at the support. I mean, with this crazy run we had to the upside, they're holding on pretty good to the range. So on the ES, you can see we are holding pretty darn good. We are holding up here against the 68.15 run about there. Watch this lower area, the 67.60s. That's going to be the area. I mean, it was a pretty good support area before, but they just blew through it on the way up. Probably going to be good support on the way down as well. And anything can happen. It depends on what happens with the Iranians, if they come back and renege and stuff like that. It's going to be back on again in a heartbeat, and the market's going to be just falling apart. So just take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Watch the market, watch oil, and then see how this whole thing shakes out. Going to be a lot of head fakes and a lot of turbulence here before everything settles in. And if they screw it up, then we know what happens. So it's not by any means a foregone conclusion that it's going to work out. So on the ES, I did take one trade that was up here, and you can see here we were up here, we were retesting that area, and then we had two bars stalling, and at the third bar was hesitating. I figured it good enough to take a short. So I took a short right there, had a break-even trade going, and you can see how they were kind of stressing it back up again. So I moved my stop up a little bit outside the rotation just to give it a little bit so I don't just get shaken out for no reason. But then they look at that. They took it just enough to take me high, literally a couple of ticks above my level, stopped me out, and then boom, I hammered it. That's when the news came out. So that was frustrating. I could have been in a beautiful short trade on that one, but nope, it didn't happen. And I was just watching it from the sideline. So it was down $6 on that trade. On the Nasdaq, though, I did a couple of more trades, and I tried a trade over here, a long trade, got stopped out. That was the first trade I took, was down a little bit on that one. Then I tried another long trade here. Same story there, but it looked like they were stalling right here. Two bars right here at the 990s. And 990s is right here, right below the lower support area. So I thought I had a shot at it, but then of course they started heading lower and I could not get out of that trade. There was no way of scratching it. Got out of it, and then you can see they were pushing this lower down here towards that lower end, the 920. So I tried a short trade, pretty aggressive at that time, but there was some momentum going here. Had a nice break-even trade going. Got almost. You see, I had my limit order at 925 to get out. It was almost there. It's like, oh man, little bit of a push. But then they knocked me out of that thing. That was down like what was that, $60 or something like that. Then I got one more trade here when they failed to take it lower. So a little balance bar there. They started taking it, they traded up, then they traded down, and then this one is. I'm not thinking short side at this point necessarily. I'm thinking that they're going to fake me out, and they did. Start trading higher on the way up here. I got long, and then I got out here a little bit, not quite at the tab, but I got when I was at break even plus something. I got out, so I'm up $5. I made like $70 back on that trade. But so four trades up $5. It's overall pretty much a break even day. But I could have been done a lot more. I was down like 60, $70 on the Nasdaq or something. It wasn't too pretty. But that's how it goes, I mean, you had to take the trade when you think it's going to work out. And this one was not that aggressive because I had two bars here that did not extend past that level. I think it had a shot at a little bit of retracement, but no, they nailed me on that one. So there you have it. So I would say we're starting off range bound. We have a lower edge on the ES and Nasdaq. I would say below the 67.85s on the ES and below the 24,920 or 900s on the Nasdaq. Those are the levels to watch now, given the overnight and what's been going on. So the overnight wasn't not too surprising that it was a little bit euphoric. But the fact that they haven't backed off more than they have is pretty good. So starting off range bound, we watch that lower support there. That comes out, look for a retracement trade to the downside instead. We'll see. It depends. The news comes out that like the Iranians and the reneging and backing off and starting doing the cute shit, then chances are we're going to see this whole thing kind of apart again pretty quick. On the bond side of things, haven't taken any bond trades, but they've been taking net. They were up here this morning and then just been a net grind to the downside. And as they took out that 114, 14 to 15, took off the long bias and started thinking retracement down here to support. But it's been a grind. I have not tried to trade this. Yeah, if you traded bonds today, you would have been falling asleep between the fills, right? So I didn't do anything on the bonds, but they've been net to the downside, yields net coming out. So not quite sure what to make out of that one. I did take a crypto trade though. I took a silver trade here earlier on. That was on the way after we had this big sell-off of silver. You had this huge sell-off, and then you had the imprint L&M right here at the lower end of support. That was this guy right there. So big move down, final little burst to the downside. See, I get long on the way up here, get out at the tablet, and that gives me about it was like a $20 trade. You're seeing P&L for 2 days back is what I'm doing right now. So overall, to the one trade, one small winner on the silver, and that's about it for me so far on the crypto futures. So this is a silver future. All right, so that's where we are on that. Back to the ES and the Nasdaq, and let's see what's going to go happen with this. It's just anyone's guess. Right now, it looks to me like maybe you see a bit of strength developing, but man, it's been some kind of a roller coaster. I'm probably going to stay like that for a few more days. So let's trade this with a grain of salt. All right, guys, we leave it there. So one trade on the ES down $6, 4 trades on the Nasdaq up $5 net. But I was down like 65, 70 bucks on this one, so it wasn't too pretty. So I made some money back on that. All right, guys, we leave it there. And I'll see you back at bright and early tomorrow morning, Thursday, and go at it again. All right, guys, later.